Hi there. Here we envision a life emergence event in the early Earth, somewhere between 3.8 to 3.5 billion years ago. So while many origins of life proposals showing compartmentalizations and aggregations have demonstrated amazing progress in mimicking modern cells, many actually fails to work with geophysical challenges of the early Earth. So our proposal here aims to demonstrate a life emergence situations that is, one, free from dilutions and burial; second, relevant and taking advantage of the highly active environments of the early Earth; third, capable of demonstrating the birth, growth, primitive replications, and death process, which would provide a plausible opportunity for an evolution into a more complex organism. So the vivid vision in mind here is the early oceans was covered by a thin organic film based on the estimations of micrometeorite flux that are transformed into light organics materials as a result of maturations. And these organics materials covering the ocean surface are free from dilutions and burials as a consequence of their buoyancy, but at the same time are highly exposed to hydrodynamic forces such as rain impact or breaking wave. So these hydrodynamic interactions drive not only the birth process of oil droplets, but subsequently assist the growth by vapor accumulations, primitive replications by fissioning, and death by sedimentations. So to test this model, we create a laboratory scale experiment. Here we have a rain simulator with a beaker representing the oceans, water with surfactants, and thin organic films. So what's interesting here is not only we observe oil droplet produced as the thin organic film falls apart, but various kinds of droplets are produced. One of them is water droplet coated by oil in the water polar environments, which is essentially similar to modern cells. So here's the distributions of droplet size and the detailed process on how these droplets were produced. So next, we look into how the growth mechanisms can be accommodated into this model. So here, we use a sample of organic tarball from Galveston, Texas, isolated with xylene to represent oil droplets in the prebaric atmosphere. We can see mass increase over time here, which indicate the growth. And the last one is the most interesting one. So although one can imagine soil droplet is fissions by rain impact, the dynamics is actually so rich that it involves ocean gyre that will determine the likelihood of these droplets being impacted by hydrodynamic forces, as we see from convection diffusions formulation here. So thank you for listening. With that, I will stop this recording. Thanks.